To all North Pole City Elves, those in Santa's Village, in the lower 48, and all around the world, this is your weekly update. I am your host, Walter Mistletoe Livingstone. Let's go to press. For the week of April 18th, 2022, your sponsor will be Sonia's Subs and Soups. Located at 432 Noel Drive, Sonia has been making sandwiches and soups for 400 years. Some of the best in North Pole City. Stop by today to pick up something for dinner. That's Sonia's Subs and Soups. Update from Santa's Village. There was some excitement this week as the craftsman elves in the workshop spent some time creating a very large Easter basket out of Legos to help mark the arrival of the Easter Bunny up at the North Pole. Santa was so impressed with the workmanship that he did not want it dismantled, but transported over to North Pole City Hotel to have it on display in the banquet hall while the Easter Bunny is visiting the city. From this day forward, this masterpiece will be on display for all to see, said Santa when he saw what the elves had created. We will bring it out each year that Peter is up here to visit us. From the Department of Elfland Security, the security detail reported that they found a small abandoned encampment outside of the city near the old abandoned sled dog camp. Inside, they found plans for the paint machine and wire cutters. They also found formulas and calculations that they took to the engineer department to be deciphered. Further information will follow, but they believe that they have found where whoever is causing issues up at Santa's Village was staying. They will be keeping their eye close on this location. The division of WWWPR has created many posts on the Easter Bunny's webpage and have many more to create now that the Easter Bunny is up here at North Pole City. They have scheduled some time to sit down with him to gather some much needed information for the website. Please look for more posts coming out this week. Although the rains have been pretty heavy this past week, flooding has been contained in many areas. Please expect more rains off and on over the next week, with temperatures remaining moderate. WELF NPC reported a very successful Easter marathon this past weekend. The marathon began at 8 a.m. and lasted throughout the day. You could hear the station's broadcast as you walk through the streets of the city, and plans for future holiday-related marathons are underway. For this week in Elf History, I'm going to turn it over to our investigative reporter, Becky Marshmallow Livingstone. Becky, take it away.
Thanks, Walter. This week in Elf History, on April 20th of 1887, the first motor race in the world was won by Georges Bouton. However, it was a hollow victory, and there was no champagne celebration. Why, you might ask? Well, there was nobody else in the race except for Bouton and his co-driver. They were the only ones who were taking part. In fact, it wasn't even a car that was racing. It was a steam-powered quadricycle. You know, these kind of remind me of those little cars that we used to take around with the post office mail. It's those little ones that... Right, okay. The event was a test organized by the newspaper Le Volksempete to see if Bouton's machine, which had boasted speeds of 60 kilometers per hour, could make the 29-kilometer distance between Neuilly Bridge in Paris and the Boyette de Boulogne. Bouton, born in 1847, was an engineer scraping a living, building and selling mechanical toys with another engineer, Charles Tepaudon. They had long dreamed of building a steam car, but didn't have enough money to finance the project. That was, however, to change when in 1881, the wealthy Marquis Jules Albert de Dion bought a toy locomotive that he saw in the window of the shop run by the engineers. He asked them to build another, and impressed by their skill and their passionate interest in the building cars, he went into business with them. That was the start of the De Dion Bouton Automobile Company, which, for a while in the early 20th century, established itself as the largest car manufacturer in the world, renowned for quality and reliability. And just for the record, Bouton and De Dion completed the test course in 1 hour and 14 minutes, riding La Marquise, the quadricycle's name. It was named after his mom, Isn't that so kind? Back to you, Walter.
Thank you, Becky. And I do remember those cars that we had. What happened to those? I remember. Steam don't work too good up at the North Pole when it's cold.
That's why we had to start changing how we used them. But we still don't use that icky, gross, oily stuff.
No.
That's good stuff.
The North Pole City Commerce Association will be working with the Easter Bunny to have a large-scale Easter egg hunt in City Center on Wednesday afternoon. There will be many prizes donated by local North Pole City businesses if you would like to bring out your young little elflings to take part in the event. The Easter Bunny is expected to start the egg hunt at 1 p.m. Construction has resumed on the street and sidewalk replacement project as another large shipment of bricks have been made this past weekend. The crews were able to complete 2 more streets and were asked to slow down a little bit so that the brick factory could keep up with their construction project. With the weather during the spring season being questionable from year to year, the North Pole City Sports League has decided to select a spring sport that could be conducted either inside or outside and not dependent on weather conditions. This is all that they are announcing at this time, but look for future announcements and a possibility of a new building being designed and built for the league's selected spring sport. There will be a welcome banquet this Thursday at North Pole City Hotel's banquet hall for anyone wishing to come out and spend some time with the Easter Bunny. Doors will open at 6 p.m. with dinner scheduled for 7 p.m. Santa and Mrs. Claus will be there officially welcoming the Easter Bunny to North Pole City. WELF NPC would like to wish a very happy 575th birthday to Carol Patches Yearly from the North Pole City Post Office. Carol has worked at the post office for almost 400 years now and loves greeting everyone with a huge smile when they come in to get their postage and send a letter. We wish you many more happy years. This is Walter Mistletoe Livingstone with a reminder, a mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it's not open. Have a good evening and be sure to tune in next week for another WELF NPC North Pole Radio News Update.